Bye. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be part 2 of my talk about the holiday in Greece in Zakynthos Zante. Now in this video I am going to talk about what we did on the days we visited, and it's going to include a few pictures and videos. Anyway, I'm going to start off with Thursday, the 25th of May, 2017. That's the date that we left to go to Zakynthos Zante, and we left and that was the last day of our show, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I didn't make the very last night because I left this house at the late evening show. I did the matinee, but I didn't do the Thursday evening show, and that was unfortunate because everyone said that was the best show that they've done. But I ended up leaving this house at 7, half 7, making it to the airport at half 10, where I got onto the plane for half 11, but we did stop and have a drink in Wetherspoons in the airport. I had a Diet Coke because I did not fancy like drinking alcohol at such an expensive price. Whilst boarding a plane that still makes my stomach turn. Either way. So we got to Kamara or something like that. I can't remember how you pronounce it or spell it, don't remember. Kamara Beach, I'm just going to say that. The view was amazing. It is just basically the sea of Zakynthos. It was beautiful. As soon as you walk out of the doors, you see the beach on your right, and it has like this old bridge where crabs and little fishes and tiny frogs about that big live in the shallow area around there, which I did not notice until the last 2 days before we left, because I went to wander and have a climb on the bridge. When I tried to get across to get to the stone bridge, I saw loads of crabs and I thought, I am not getting my toe pinched off by one of those little stubborn karate little things. Literally, I wanted to see how dangerous those crabs were. I got a stick and I poked them, and they were going like this with their little little clippers, whatever you want to call them. They were going like this, like hiding themselves like this, and then you just go like that and snap at your stick. So I was like, yeah, I'm not putting my bare foot in that. So I didn't end up climbing on it in the end. Greece is 2 hours ahead of English time. Woke up about half 10, 11, everybody did. Ended up to like a massive knocking on the door from my mum, which we didn't like wake up to for ages, which is strange. We went to go get something to eat at the Snack Academy, and I had a gyros, whatever you want to call it, and basically it's chips, it has pork, it has garlic mayonnaise, and it's in a pita bread.
Ooh, so tasty.
And it was actually pretty good, pretty good. And then we went round the shops and I brought a few things which I've shown in the previous video, but what I brought on the first day, on the Friday, was the sunglasses and the lace top and the fedora hat. And my brother had a nosebleed, but other than that, nothing really happened. Went back to the hotel in the afternoon and sunbathed for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, where I already started burning on my back. But it's because it wasn't that hot on that day because of the breeze from the sea. So I was like, yeah, it's not that hot. It's not that hot. I can sunbathe for a bit. And my mum was like, be careful, Lucy. Don't get tricked by the weather. Even though there's a breeze, you're still going to burn. I was like, yeah, whatever. And I ended up burning on my back the first day there. And it must at the upper part of my back. And it must be the worst place to get burnt. So that's what we did on Friday. I didn't do a lot on Tuesday either. Went to have a look at the shops further away from the hotel, and then on Saturday night we went to this Greek night called Target. What do I say about that without being horrible? It was not that good. They had pictures of the entertainers, dancers, whatever you want to call them, dancing in a ring of fire, and there was none of that. They were just dancing the same dance to about 4 or 5 different songs. And they started dancing whilst we were eating our starter instead of waiting until everybody finished their foods, their meals, because it was a 2-course meal, starter and a main. And they did, instead of waiting, they decided to dance straight away when we had our starter. And I was annoyed because they tried to grab me and take me to the dance floor whilst I was eating my starter, and we weren't having it. And then it would take us about half an hour because everybody started dancing, everybody in the room started dancing in a circle, and obviously there was no way of carrying food without it knocking out of the place, out of the waitress's hand. So we ended up having our food half an hour later than we should, and when we did have it, our chips were freezing cold and our meat was freezing cold and our rice was freezing cold, and I really didn't enjoy it at all. I left most of it, and I looked around at all the other tables and everybody else left it as well, so we ended up going home for like 11 o'clock, and we had a nice photo next to the view because it was beautiful, and we were on top of the city on the cliffs, and I was like, oh, and all the lights were on. It was gorgeous, and I watched the sunset. But that's the only thing that I liked about it, was the salad and the view and the sunset. That's all I actually liked about that night. So that's all I have to say about Saturday night. Sunday was a good day. We went on the train to the big city, and it was, how do I explain it? It was sweet. It really was sweet. I liked it because as we were on the train, we got to see the sea as we were driving past, beautiful views, and the driver told us history of town, when it was first built, the oldest town there was in Zakynthos, which is on the top of the cliffs, which he pointed out. Then he started talking about the princess of Greece and all this, and about canals that were 400 years old, which I did take a picture of, and it was actually really, really pleasant. The drive wasn't that long, but when we got to the big city, bearing in mind on Sunday the shops were pretty much closed, so not a lot was open, but I did manage to buy my gifts. Oh yeah, I'm going to buy myself a gift. No, I ended up buying myself things, and I brought Jade things as well that day, so some of the stores were open. My sister brought Uno. If you don't know what Uno is, it's a card game, and we played that at one of the cafes in the Burning Sun. Taught my little brother how to play it, and you just heard him saying yep in the background. There's a little cheeky grin. Because there wasn't a lot, we got the train back. It was about 2 when we got back. I think we went and had lunch, and then we went to have a few drinks in the beer academy next to the snack academy. I think they both own the same business. And then we went back to the hotel, went in the pool, and went for a walk on the beach. The beach and the sea were really warm comparing to the swimming pool, but the swimming pool was so clean and so blue, it was beautiful. Then we went out for dinner at Athena's and had a beef Athena, which was chunks of beef or steak, whatever it was, in this cheese creamy sauce with melted cheese on top and boiled potatoes and mushrooms, and then I had side of garlic bread. That was on Saturday night, and then Sunday we went to the restaurant called Select, and I had a gyros, which wasn't in a wrap because it was in a proper restaurant. It was like the meat with chips and salad and this beautiful cream cheese sauce that you could just dink your chips in, and oh, it was so good. But I had toothache, so I couldn't eat all that. So that's what we did on Sunday. Monday I ended up going turtle sightseeing, and it was pretty good. we did quad bikes, which I was quite nervous about because I've never been on a quad bike, and neither was my mum, and I was sat on the back of my mum. And she did struggle at first to start the quad bike, so I was like, oh, I don't want it to crash, I don't want it to crash. So I was getting a bit jumpy there, and she did almost fall into a ditch, but managed to swerve out of it in time. But after a while she did get the hang of it, and I got the sunburnt the most out of all the days on holiday that I've ever been burnt. That was the worst day I got burnt. I was burnt from here downwards all the way down to my hands and on my nose. And my noses are quite dry now, so I've had to put moisturiser on. And especially on my thighs, and every time I walked I was like, ow, 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 ow. So we ended up going from one side of the island to the other side of the island for the whole day. Went to Banana Beach. Banana Beach is beautiful. The sea is absolutely clear and clean. It's shallow for ages. I saw how far people were swimming, and when they stood up it was only at their ankles. I was like, what? I only had a drink there, I didn't go in the sea there. Then we got on our quad bikes, went to the very end and went to Turtle Island where turtles nest. We didn't stay there long because it was so hot, we all just wanted to get out of there. Got back on the quad bikes, went all the way back to the big city, which I went to on the train. Had a few drinks there. I had an ice cream, had a bit of alcohol. Then went back to Zakynthos, dropped it back off because obviously I could only lend it for the day. Went for a few drinks. I can't remember what I brought then. I brought something else there as well. Brought more ice cream. Stopped for ages and ages. It must have been there from like 7 to like 10 at night at the beer academy, and I played a lot of pool with my sister. Oh yeah, I bought key rings that day. That's the day I bought the key rings. And then we went to the hotel. Didn't go to sleep till about 11:30 because I wanted to finish my book of The Cursed Child. Finished, well actually I finished part 1 at that point. And then the next day was the final day, walked home. We didn't walk home, what an idiot. We went to the airport, and we must have queued up for an hour just at one point because we had to go check in, and then we had to queue up again for the security, and it took us an hour just to get through to the check-in. So it took me an hour for the check-in, and it must take about an hour and 15 minutes for the security. Straight onto the coach, straight onto the plane, quicker than I actually thought we'd be on the plane because the plane was at half 1. We had got on there for 12:30, which was strange, so our flight was quite early. 3.5 hours, got to Birmingham, waited for 15 minutes for a bus to take us to our car, and we drove home, did all our cleaning and stuff we needed to do for our suitcases, and just watched a bit of Harry Potter, chilled out a bit, went to sleep. So basically guys, that was it of my holiday. Some of you might find that interesting, some of you might not, but I absolutely enjoyed it, and we'll do a lot more. We'll do a lot more next year because we'll probably plan what to do and what not to do, what was good, what wasn't, and we'll probably have a lot more, and there'll probably be a lot more to vlog about, you know, next year. So I hope you guys like this video. Sorry if it's dragged on, and I will see you again for another video. So thank you and goodbye. Peace out. Oh no, I forgot to tell you. I'm wearing my Star Wars snapback. I forgot to tell you about that. I've just decided to leave you hanging with me wearing a black snapback, which you've never seen me wear before. And my top, which is pretty cool. Is it or is it not? It's my Pikachu top, and then I'm wearing my Star Wars snapback. I'm a big fan of Harry Potter, Star Wars, Pokemon, you name it. Foo Fighters, Green Day, Nickelback, blah blah blah. Big fan of everything. If you want another video of getting to know me further about me, then I'll probably do that as well anyway, without a yes or a no. So thank you and goodbye.